I'm sick of the lies. I'm sick of the lies. The lies the mainstream media, sports media be telling all you Braun fanboys. Not only the lies of the mainstream sports media, but lies from LeBron himself. Recently, he said, "Oh, oh man, this dude, he tells so many lies, dog." He said, "Seemed like ever since I entered the league, people just rooted for me to fail. They just wanted me to fail. They were rooting for me to fail. They wanted me to fail. They wanted me to fail when I came in the league. That's all they wanted." That's a lie. That's a narrative. Oh my goodness. It's a lie. It's a lie. I think he's mistaken. He's got the wrong words. He's got his words mixed up. We didn't want you to fail. We watched you fail. We watched you fail. We didn't want you to fail. We watched you fail. We didn't root for you to fail. We realized you were a failure. That's what it was. We didn't root for you to fail. We realized you were a failure. That's what happened. That's the story. That's the real truth. I remember when LeBron first came into the league, dog. I remember all the hype. They were celebrating his entry into the league. They're like, "Oh, he's the king. He's the chosen one. He's coming to save us. He's coming to save this league. He's the next Michael Jordan." That was what he was billed as. He's the next Michael Jordan, dog. The next Michael? Nobody said, "Oh, no, 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 he can't be that. That's not right. Don't say that. Put some respect on Michael's name." See, it was a different time before it got soft. It wasn't soft like that. We wanted to see a next Michael Jordan. We were excited about it. We were like, yeah, yeah. Because ever since Michael left, we haven't seen anything like that. We got to see it again. You know? We want to see more people doing some Michael type stuff. We want to be entertained by that. You think we don't want that? You think we don't want to see another Michael? Of course we want to see another Michael. That's entertaining. That's good for basketball. You saw what Michael did for basketball. Of course we want to see another Michael. Nobody was hating on that man. Nobody wanted that man to fail. We wanted to see it. We were anxious. We saw how physically gifted LeBron was. We saw the athleticism, the size, the strength, the speed. We saw the vertical leap. We saw how quick he could just rise off of the floor and dunk it. We saw the power. You know what I'm saying? He had all the physical gifts, right? And so physically, athletically, we saw this dude was something else, all right? We knew this dude was a freak. And if we were like, yo, he's a freak athletically. The only thing he needs is the skills. He doesn't have the skills yet, like to play in the NBA like that, like on that level. He's not like, he don't have a bag. That was the thing. He don't have a bag yet. But we can't wait to see. what he does and what he adds once he gets that bag deeper. Once he has a bag, like a Jordan bag or a Kobe bag, dog, he going to be unstoppable. He winning at least 8 rings, and we're excited to see it. He going to pass Michael Jordan. He has what it takes. Athletically, physically, he has what it takes. Nobody was hating on that man. Everybody was rooting for LeBron. We wanted to see that. Nobody was hating. We welcomed him with open arms to the league. We all supported him. The people. Now, I know when he went to Cleveland, his teammates were tripping, talking about he ain't going to be nothing, talking about we don't need him, talking about he too young, he inexperienced, he not going to make a difference, blah, 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 blah. Nobody cares. Nobody cares what your teammates have to say. F them. Who cares? You're better than them. You're better than Carlos Boozer. You know? You're better than Darius Miles. You know? Better than all those guys. We can already see that. You're a freak. They're not. Talking about some pressure. Dog, he act like he the first one to come from high school into the league. He was the number 1 pick, though. Number 1 pick out of high school? That's crazy. We were excited for it. Yo, he coming out of high school, number 1 pick. Last person to come out of high school and really tear it up like that was Kobe. So, these high school kids, if they're good enough to come out of high school into the NBA, dog, you know they got that firepower. They coming with it. That's what we thought. We just wanted to see what he was going to add. He didn't really have a bag. We just wanted to see how deep his bag was going to be. You know? Ironically enough, first stint, rookie, LeBron, maybe like his first, 5 years, 6 years. This dude had a bag. Like, kind of had a bag. He had a better bag than he does now. He had a better bag back then than he had in Miami, dog. For real. Better than second stint Cleveland. He had a deeper bag. And he was able to help his team win. Not initially. Initially, he missed the playoffs his first 2 seasons, but hey, we gave him a break. We said, yo, he young. He's not supposed to come in and win immediately. We knew that. These dumb Braun fanboys, they don't know that. They criticize Michael. He got eliminated in the playoffs his first 3 years. He got eliminated in the first round, and he was swept twice. Like, dog, you don't understand? Like, nobody's expecting you to come in and immediately start winning championships, no matter how good you are. Nobody's expecting that. That's not realistic. It's a competitive league. You have not played as a professional. You're supposed to just come in and just dominate, take over the whole game, and like dominate from an individual and a team level automatically? No. See, it's not enough to be just good as an individual. You got to be able to be good with your team, and your team has to be strong enough to get you there. It ain't about some one player. It's a team sport. These people don't understand that. How he's supposed to come in and just immediately start winning? He got to learn some things. He got to learn he got to get acclimated to the professional league. Nobody was expecting him to immediately win championships. He missed the playoffs his first 2 seasons. So, he young. He 18. You know what I'm saying? He's supposed to be going straight to the playoffs? He's supposed to be immediately winning championships? No. It's not realistic. These Braun fanboys out there Act like that's supposed to be a thing, and LeBron didn't even do it. So why are you mad at Michael Jordan? Michael Jordan didn't win a championship his first 3 seasons. Y'all hate on that. Oh, he lost in the first round. He was swept twice. You know, he lost 3 times. 2 of them were sweeps. Doesn't matter who he faced. It doesn't matter. None of that matters. You know, he was 1-9. It was his first 3 seasons. And only 2 of them were full because he broke his foot in his second season. Nobody want to talk about that. They just want to talk about he was swept twice in the first round. This is his first 3 seasons. What did LeBron do in his first 3 seasons, dog? Missed the playoffs twice. Now he finally makes the playoffs. I say finally. Look, I'm not a hater, dog. I'm not a LeBron hater. But they be saying some wild stuff, some crazy stuff. Unrealistic stuff. Trying to set this standard so high for other players. But for LeBron, the standard's real low. Real low. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's weak. It's not okay. Dude makes it to the playoffs his first time. It's his 3rd season in the league. 50-32 team. You know? They make it out of the first round. Okay. Second round, they run into the Detroit Pistons, I believe. Detroit Pistons. And the Pistons, they were a 60-something win team. They're not beating no 60-win team. They got eliminated. Okay. That's his first taste of the playoffs. He's supposed to go straight to the finals? No. Then, in his 4th season, he actually went to the finals, dog. It was crazy. We were like, what? This soon? It wasn't because he was so great. His team was 50-32 again. Same exact record as the last season. Round 1, they faced the 41-41 Wizards. They were a 500 team. Round 2, they faced a 500 team, 41-41 Nets. Then round 3, the Eastern Conference Final, they face a 53-win Detroit Pistons who did not have Ben Wallace. As much as these Braun fanboys try to be talking like the Detroit Pistons were still the ones that won the championship in 2004. They weren't. Ben Wallace was not on that team. He was a key contributor to their championship success. And Larry Brown, their coach, he was no longer their coach. It was Flip Saunders. But he does win. 6 games, beats them. And he puts on a historic performance in the playoffs. This dude scored like 25 straight points for his team. You know what I'm saying? Like, this dude scored like this. He put on a performance, dog. It was awesome. We were excited. We were like, yo, he that dude. We were happy about that. Everybody was rooting for him. Everybody was like, yo, go, LeBron. Do it, dog. Do that. Yo, this dude is a beast. And look, all he got to do is keep that same energy versus the Spurs. Just do that stuff you were doing against Detroit, against the Spurs. You got your first ring already, dog. 4 seasons in. Yo, we were excited. We were ready to see him in the finals, dog. He gets to the finals. He's a dud. He didn't bring none of that Detroit energy to the Spurs. He didn't do that. You know, when the lights were the brightest, dog, he didn't show up. He performed below average. We watched you fail. We didn't want you to fail. We watched you fail. You got swept, dog. You underperformed. We didn't want that. We watched that. We didn't root for that. We realized that. Don't you understand? Nobody was hating on that man. He just didn't show up. I don't know why. I don't know what happened. Maybe he was scared. Maybe he was too young. And we gave it to him. We gave him that as an excuse. Hey, maybe he was scared. Maybe he was too young. You know, all the games were close. It wasn't like they were just getting blown out. Every game was close. Only one game did the Spurs win by double digits. That was 11 points. Every other game was single-digit victory. Even as much as a game being only a 1-point win. All the games were close. But if LeBron had just performed average, he didn't have to take it to a next level. He didn't have to turn into Michael Jordan. All he had to do was play his average numbers. And the Cavaliers would have won that series. It's that simple, dog. But he underperformed. Didn't show up. They got swept. We were like, swept? Hey, he young, he's scared. It's okay. He's going to get better. We still gave him the benefit of the doubt, dog. It was his first ever finals. It was only his 4th season. Nobody expected him to win in his 4th season. We were just hoping that it could be possible. We wanted it to happen. But that's not what happened. Got swept. You know, fifth season, you know, they're like, 47-35. Make it to the playoffs again, but I believe they lose in the second round, you know, to the Boston Celtics. Big three, KG, Ray Allen. Who's the other one? Paul Pierce. They lose to them. Okay. They kept it competitive. It wasn't like they got swept again. You're like, all right, you know, Big Three is pretty experienced. LeBron isn't. His team is relatively young. You know, he got a couple vets, but not like that kind of vet. It's okay. He'll get them next year. And boy, did he. You know? These guys had the best record in the NBA after that. They had 66-16. Come on, dog. Best record in the whole NBA. And people were hyped. You know? LeBron gets his first MVP. You know? 6th season in the league. Gets his first MVP. Leads his team to 60+ wins. That's what we're talking about, dog. Back then, he had a bag. He could do other things. He could cross people up and take them off the dribble. He could do 1 dribble, 2 dribble pull-ups and stuff like that. You know? He actually had that in his game. You know? Still wasn't really a great shot. You know? Those were the things we were looking for when we first saw him come into the league. We were rooting for him. But we said, yo, he's got to increase that bag, though. Free throws got to be better. Handles could be better. You know, I'd like to see him utilize that size, get a post game, develop a post fade, post hook, whatever he got. Something in the post, over the shoulder, you know. I need to see a jump shot, a consistent mid-range, you know. He doesn't necessarily have to be a strong three-point shooter, but his three-point shooting has to come up, you know. Free throw percentage, all the things that he lacks now were the things he lacked back then. He ain't add to his game. We wanted to see LeBron. LeBron body, LeBron athleticism, all that. With Jordan moves, dog, he unstoppable. He unstoppable. 8 rings, at least. That's what we thought. Didn't happen. They go over, to the Eastern Conference Finals. They're the number 1 seed, not only in their conference, but in all of the NBA. They have the best record. They go against the 59-23 Orlando Magic. You know, the media was hyping it up. The Nike commercials were hyping it up. They had the puppets, Kobe and LeBron puppets, talking about they both going to meet in the finals. It's going to be such an awesome, entertaining finals, to have. Because there was, at that time, it was like, who's the best? Who's the best in the league? Is it LeBron or is it Kobe? Well, we'll see in the finals when they meet. Didn't happen. Orlando Magic, the lower seeded team, beat the Cavaliers. They went to the finals instead. Kobe, you knew Kobe was going to make the finals. He had already been in the finals the year before. Even though they lost to the Celtics. He was in the finals the year before, dog. We knew he was going to the finals again. We knew he was going to handle business. He was the best player in the world, in all of our eyes. But we were rooting for LeBron. We wanted to see that matchup, dog. We wanted the beef to be settled. It wasn't a beef, but the debate between who was the better player. Personally, I thought it was Kobe. But it was no hate on LeBron. Kobe just had the bag, dog. We saw the kind of stuff Kobe was doing. He already built his own legacy already. He was already a 3-time champion, even though he wasn't the main guy. He was a 3-time champion already. He had already established himself. We saw what Kobe could do. We knew who he was. We didn't necessarily know who LeBron was yet. We found out. He lost. We didn't want him to fail. We watched him fail. We watched the Orlando Magic kick the crap out of him. You know? LeBron did hit a game winner to keep himself alive. Keep the team alive, but dog, Orlando Magic was about, they were standing on business. They were about that. Cavs weren't. Even though they should have been. They had the MVP. They had the best player in the league on their team. They were a 66-win team, dog. Like, how did they lose to a lower seeded team who didn't even win 60? You know? We didn't root for him to fail. We realized he was a failure. So when that happened, we were like, yo, what's up? And then we were like, I don't know what's going on here. Something is up here. I mean, we gave him a pass for the finals, in 2007 where he got swept. But now I'm not so sure. Maybe he just not that dude. Maybe he just don't have that dog. Maybe he just don't have it. Next year they have the best record in the NBA again. They're a 61-21 team. Still the best record in the NBA. Number 1 seed in all of the NBA. Make it through the first round of the playoffs. LeBron got a second MVP, back-to-back MVPs, dog. Had the best team. Goes to the second round. Lose in the second round to the Big Three Celtics again. And these Celtics, they were a 50-32 Celtics team. 50-32? And you're a 61-21 and you lost to them, dog? What? What? We didn't want you to fail. We watched you fail. And we're like, yo, hold up. This guy may not be the guy. He may not be the guy, dog. That's what we saw, dog. That's what we saw from LeBron. We saw him have a meltdown. We saw him quit. We saw him just get taken completely out of his element. We saw him underperform whenever he faced a challenge. That's what we saw. We didn't see a guy who was rising to the occasion. At least when Michael was losing, you never questioned his performance. You never said, they lost because Mike just didn't step up. No, Mike was bringing it. You just said, they lost because they lost. They just weren't as good as a team. Michael did his thing, but, you know, he just knows how to play very well as an individual. You know, we need more team play. They got to be a dominant team if they want to make it out of the East. These teams are too good. That one superstar being Superman ain't going to be enough. That's not winning basketball. It's all about playing winning basketball. And LeBron proved he could do winning basketball in the regular season. Come playoff time, you know, against some, you know, teams that got some wins, not some 500 teams. I'm talking about some teams with some wins. He folding under the pressure, dog. Ben, that year he had the decision, dog. Nah, dog. Once he did that, he ran to Miami, dog. Teamed up with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. Once he did that, that's when we knew, nah, dog, he not that dude, dog. He don't even want to compete. He does not want to compete. He wants to team up. He's trying to get cheap rings, dog. He ain't even about that, dog. He ain't about deepening his bag and just getting better and learning how to make his team better and learning not to have those meltdowns and just building up his mental as well. He not about that, dog. He about getting it easy. And then that's when there was a shift. Because now we're not entertained anymore. You know, save the All-Star game for the All-Star game. We don't want an All-Star game on the same team in the regular season. We didn't want that. That's not entertaining, dog. That's weak. But we said, hey, they're going straight to the finals. We all know this. They're going straight to the finals. They're probably going to win, even though it's their first year together. That's how overpowered the team was. We're like, they're going straight to the finals. They went to the finals, and then they were facing the Dallas Mavericks. Oh, dog. We just knew the Miami Heat were going to win, dog. We knew. And he still failed, dog. He still failed. And that took the cake. That was it. Once he did that, once he failed, he had every reason to succeed. He had the team. You know? He wasn't too young anymore. He had experience under his belt. You know? Every excuse we gave for why he wasn't having success over in Cleveland, we realized he's just not that dude. We didn't want him to fail. We watched him fail. But when he ran over to Miami, a lot of people did jump ship. A lot of people did change their tune. Because they said, yo, he ain't a dog like that. Michael Jordan, you know, Jordan would have never done that. Jordan would have never done that, dog. Kobe would have never done that. Not that. He wouldn't have done it like that. All these players, these great players who came before him, we knew they would never stoop to that level. So when that happened, it was like, yo, he not what they market him as, dog. He not the next Jordan. He not a competitor like that. He not a competitor like Kobe. He don't got the dog like that. He's soft. And we started to see more and more softness. We had already seen it with the bronze medal in the Olympics 2008. You know what I'm saying? Or was it 2008? Hard to say. But, dog, one of those Olympics got a bronze medal and then got another bronze medal in like a FIBA Cup. We were already seeing signs of it in the Olympics and the FIBA, you know, before Kobe had to come and save the day just so they could get gold. I think he saved the day in the 2008 Olympics. The whole reason the whole Miami thing happened is because all those guys played together in the Olympics. LeBron was already like, yo, what if we were all on the same team? You, me, Chris Bosh. That's what happened, dog. So, they were all drafted the same year. Chris Bosh, Wade, and LeBron. They're the first, fourth, and fifth pick in the draft of 2003. They all ended up on the same team. Like, do you not understand how crazy that is? How uncompetitive that is? We didn't want him to fail. We watched him fail. He had every reason to succeed, and he still failed. And he underperformed in the worst possible way. Everything we said he was. Defensively, he didn't show up. Offensively, he didn't show up. Leader, he didn't show up. You know? That's when we realized he not the dude. We wanted him to be the dude. And it took us 8 years to see he not that dude. He ended up winning the next two, but the damage had already been done, dog. You really got to show us something. You really got to show us something. You know? And he would keep going to finals, went on an 8 consecutive final streak, and only won 3 championships during that run. That's when we knew, dog. He got swept in 2 finals, 2007 and 2018. That's when we knew, dog. We didn't want him to fail. We watched him fail. And once we watched him fail and saw who he was, we just said, oh, he's just going to keep being that then. And we're going to keep rooting for that then. Because we just want him to be who he showed us he is. That's all it is. He showed us who he was. So we said, yo, that's who he is. We didn't necessarily want him to fail. We just said, that's who he is. He's a failure. And he went on to keep proving it over and over and over. Trying to hop from team to team and keep stacking the deck in his favor. The only reason he has the rings he has. Because he's not the dude. He not the GOAT, dog.